Hello, welcome back. It's been over a year since I uploaded my demo reel. Currently, I've been working on 3 other projects, but I decided to start a 4th instead of finishing those ones up. If you haven't seen my demo reel, feel free to check it out. It is linked below. One of the first things that people say after watching the demo reel is, how the hell did you mess that up? And then shortly after, you get a lot of questions about the hyperlapses that are in there. So I figured I would show you guys a tutorial on how I made those. When I'm shooting my hyperlapses, I changed my camera settings, so I'm shooting in the highest quality JPEG. You don't need all the information that is in a RAW file, and RAW files are much harder to edit with. Set your camera's aperture somewhere smaller, something like 5.6 to 11. That way you make sure that you have a good amount of the photo that's in focus. You can even turn your focus on manual and just keep that locked. That way your focus isn't changing throughout the hyperlapse, which can give it a weird effect. When I'm shooting a hyperlapse, I look for landmarks that have a lot of lines and have a lot of 3-dimensional space to them. So here is one that I took in Florence, Italy at the Duomo. I chose to use the bell tower since it has a lot of verticality of it and it was very easy to move around it. When you're shooting a hyperlapse, you want to have a point that stays the same throughout all the pictures. I chose the window at the top of the bell tower as the focal point of this hyperlapse, so that point of the frame stays mostly the same throughout the entire video. And also when you're shooting these, you want to make sure that your rotation, yaw, and tilt are as controlled as possible, which just makes editing these much easier. Once you've shot your hyperlapse, we'll move on to editing it. There are plenty of softwares that you can use. I use Premiere Pro. If you use something else like Final Cut, you can still learn from this video. You can learn why to switch to Premiere Pro. So first thing you're gonna do is create a new project. You can call it whatever you want and just save it. I'm gonna save it in the same folder as all my pictures. Once your project is open, then go up to Preferences and then select Timeline. And then once that opens, go to your still image default duration and set that to 2 frames. I set it to 2 frames. That way, when I blend the images together, it comes out smoother opposed to 1 frame. Just import all of the pictures that you took. Once all your pictures are imported, just drag them over to your timeline. That way you make sure you have the right resolution. Once you've imported all your pictures, just play through it. Make sure that they all connect well. It's gonna be really shaky since we haven't smoothed out the images yet. But just make sure that they all connect to each other well. At the beginning of this, it doesn't look like they will blend together. So I'm just going to start it here when I'm in front of the tower. I'm gonna remove all of these. All right, there we go. All right, now you're going to want to select all of those pictures, right click on them and nest them. You can call them whatever you want. And now we're gonna go to our effects and apply warp stabilizer to our nested clip. And it's going to take a while for your computer to apply the effect. All right, and now play through your clip. If it has a lot of weird movements, you might want to try to play with the smoothness of the clip. If it's really shaky, try increasing it. And then if it's just moves a lot and looks kind of jello-y, try reducing it until you get something that you like. Right here, it is a little jolty. It looks like it's only 2 frames, so I'm just going to delete these 2. Maybe it was 3. And just make sure that that plays smoothly together. Just a little bit of a jump, but I think it's fine. Just go to File, Export Media. I always export in ProRes, so just make sure your format is QuickTime, and then the preset, just select ProRes 422. It gives you lots of flexibility later on. Just make sure your video codec is Apple ProRes 422 and match source. And then export it to whatever folder you like, whatever name. That's fine for me. There you go. Once it's exported, just go and play through it. And just make sure everything looks good. And then you can go ahead and use this whenever you want later in another video. I've included all these pictures in a Google Drive link below. You can go ahead, download those and do your own hyperlapse, or just steal them and post them on Instagram and claim them as your own, whatever you feel like. Once you've created your hyperlapse, you can do sky replacements. You can blend different hyperlapse together. You can add things like birds in the sky, which all help these become more seamless. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I did shoot this video twice since my camera stopped recording halfway through. And set my channel to autoplay since I know you have nothing better to do.